Welcome to Picks with the Professor, the show where a real statistics professor
and his friend Jake
gives you sports betting tips. I'm your host, Professor Sides. For the latest updates and information, you can find me on Twitter at Professor Sides. You can find my friend Jake on Twitter at myfriend_Jake. This Major League Baseball episode covers the American League Championship Series Game 2 between the Yankees and Astros, scheduled to be played on Thursday, October 20th, 2022. In case you're new here, check out the webpage on the banner. It's www.pickswiththeprofessor.com/new for a primer and explanation. You can pause if need be. I've already read that, then we'll get right to it here. The goals for this episode are to share key information about this game, give you some things to think on, and explain why certain plays are being made. I never recommend blindly tailing or fading any pick, rather to hear the justifications and thought processes to make sure you're fully on board with us or against us before investing your hard-earned money. As always, remember that there are no locks in gambling, so when I provide our loves, likes, and leans, it is A, B, and C grades to indicate my confidence level with respect to scaling wagers. However, please understand that good and bad variance will occur, so as much as I'd like to say we'll be profitable each and every day, that is an impossible reality for any gambler. Jake, I'm coming off a nice Wednesday. Got the side and the total in the Padres game. Got the side in the Astros game. Talk about the good and bad variance part. I feel like a little bit of bad variance there. How did that game land on 6 runs? It felt like there should have been 12.
Yeah, there was, I don't know, there's somehow magically just stopped at 6.
Yeah, and it seemed like it was 1-1, and it could have easily been 4-3 or 4-2 or whatever. And then there were more runs after that. And that's the sort of thing that happens overall, though. Back to profitable now for the championship series. We were profitable for the division series. We were profitable for the wild card series. Profits all around here. It's been fun. It's been a fun baseball season. It continues to be fun.
It's been great. I think we're both ended up positive in the regular season, so that's just so much fun. Just
yeah. You and cousin Jared both positive for the season. I mean, just a lot of fun here for baseball. I love baseball. I'm sad it's ending. It is more fun, though, because this, I don't know about you, for me, I tend to have baseball on the secondary screens. Baseball's a long season. And, when Mrs. Professor's at home, right, we tend to put like a sitcom or a reality show or a drama or whatever on the main TV, and baseball's relegated. This is the time of the year when we get out of the championship series, so I can convince her to have the baseball on the big screen. So that's at least the one benefit is I can at least get the big TV on the baseball without a fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you're talking about there.
If you're with us on the Discord, Mrs. Professor is in the Discord. You can actually ping her and talk to her about this and make jokes because there's lots of jokes to be had, I'm sure. But before we get to this game, some reminders. Please hit that like button if you're on YouTube. Also, if you aren't yet, please consider subscribing or following. It's free, and if you turn on notifications, you won't miss any college basketball, MLB, or college football content that this channel provides. We got that Patreon page for those of you looking to support the show and get extra benefits. $3 per month gets you the play of the day or plays of the day, and again, all sorts of other benefits that you can get there. Extra plays that we aren't able to make because the lines aren't available on the show. Ad-free shows, that Discord chat, which is the best way to ask us questions and get kind of some instant feedback. People are on there talking about other games as well. There's some hockey betting chats and basketball betting chats. Yeah, football, right? NFL, right? Everything. So it's a fun place to be on the Discord. It's $5 a month if you want that. I think it'll be worth your investment. Try to give you a lot of goodies here if you are supporting the show. But otherwise, we'll get to it here. Line courtesy of Bet Online. Send up link in the show description. And current as the time of this recording, late Wednesday night. And as a reminder, the price you see on the screen in parentheses are the money line prices needed for those sides to reach a certain level play according to Sideline. This one will tee off at the same time as Game 1, 7:37 Eastern. 6:37 Central in Houston. Yankees, the Astros. I'm not going to bury the lead. My favorite play on this game is the over 7 at even money, and it reflects back to what we talked about in Game 1 that there should have been more runs. It just didn't happen. That's the way the ball bounces, or whatever phrase you want to use there. But I just think this total's priced too low. You got two good offenses. You got a mediocre Yankees bullpen, as we saw. I just think if you play out Game 1 a bunch of times, there's more runs. And I think that Fromber and Justin are both pretty good. Severino might be a little bit better. Is a little better than Tyon, sure. But, I mean, there should have been 8-9 runs. So you take back a run, you still get the 7 or 8, right? So I like this. My favorite play of this game is the over 7 at even money. I'm also going to take the Astros on the run line. here at plus 150. I like the plus 150, but it's only a C grade pick for me. The price on the Astros is not as favorable as it was, in my opinion, in game one. I had the A grade play on them there, and that cashed, but the price is a little bit tougher here. Sideline says this should be Astros minus 130. So the current money line price of minus 148 is just too steep. But I just couldn't back the Yankees in this game. It has nothing to do with being an Astros fan. Many of you have heard the story, but last year, Game 6 of the World Series, Astros and Braves, I was in attendance at the game, and my official pick was on the Braves. So I am okay with going against my team. My allegiance is to our picks and to our money. Given the situation for the Yankees, the bullpen's tired. Sure, they had a day off with the rain, but how much of a day off was that? They've still thrown a lot of innings. Their bullpen's not as good. I couldn't take them in this spot. Now, when you get to game 3, maybe that's a different story based off the price. Maybe game 4, if Cole does well in game 3 and saves the bullpen, they're a little bit, maybe, if Cole goes 8 innings on game 3, that's what you need if you're a Yankees fan, right? Day off on Friday. If you can get a day off on Saturday with him pitching well, now you're kind of rested, and then the Yankees make a little more sense. But I couldn't take them in this spot. The price would just have to be outrageous for me to back them, given the bullpen situation, the rest, the travel. We also talk about the travel situation being crazy, affecting the team that next day. But sometimes it affects them even the next day because they don't, now they're still lagging, right? So it's just, I think it's Astros or pass. I think the profitable angle is to look at the run line because I think there will be a lot of runs scored. And so I think that makes the run line the way to look. I like the plus 150, but only a C grade play for me, just because I can see the Astros winning this game 5-4, 4-3, something like that too. So I think plus 150 makes a lot of sense on the run line. But again, only a C grade pick for me there. But again, I like that over 7 even money. Jake, what is your angle on this game?
Yeah, the over is the first thing that caught my eye. That I thought that was priced like an even money. Surprised me. I thought 7 was low, and so I was excited to jump on that. I also agree with you with the Astros minus 1.5 because it's too steep of a price to pay just for the money line. You're not getting really your money's worth there, and I don't think the Yankees do it because that useless day off they had after the first game is really going to come back to bite us.
Because of TV.
Yeah, it's going to come back to bite us. I mean, you're right. Like they got in late, played tonight. It's a late one. They're going to be back. Like it's going to be a minute before they can get their feet back under them, especially for a bullpen that's not great anyway, going against this heavy hitting lineup. I think the over is a great play here. And for the Yankees to do anything in this series, I think they really got to have a great game out of Cole in game 3. But man, I'd be very nervous if I was a Yankees fan because this is not running the way you need it to run.
Yeah, it's not. Severino, a solid pitcher, of course, but Fromberg's got him beat in ERA. But when you look at the advanced metrics, he's got him beat by even more. The underlying metrics suggest Fromberg's ERA this year should have been around 3, whereas Severino should have been over 3.5. There's a reason Sideline gives a Fromberg a grade of 71, whereas Severino gets an 84. So, the Astros have another pitching edge. Not as big as in game 1, so the price isn't as big. But, the Astros have the pitching edge at the starter and then in relief. Like I talked about, the Yankees bullpen was really good at one point this season, but just slayed by injuries, and that's the way it goes sometimes. It's just not the same bullpen as it was, and now it's just very mediocre and a little bit worn down through a bunch of innings in game 1, and they didn't get the wins. That didn't help them out in either,
Yeah, like it's just everything is what Newton's law. Everything has gone wrong, can go wrong, like will go wrong, and that's what the Yankees are. It's just nothing that's going well for them in the playoffs. Starting off with like the Guardians making them go 5 and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that was one of Newton's laws, but we'll go with it.
One of those. There's something like that.
Yeah, for sure. You're right. And when it happened, right, there was the whole rain with the Braves-Phillies series, and then we always thought like we should have just been able to flip those, right? Get the Yankees playing game 2 the day earlier, but because they couldn't just flip those last minute because of TV stuff, it made for some complicated rain situations for a couple of series that just it was unfortunate for the Yankees, and then having to go 5, not being able to take care of the Guardians earlier affected that as well. The Astros did play. They played 4 games against the Mariners, but luckily for them, they played 4 games quickly and were able to get rested up. So it just doesn't set up well for the Yankees. But getting just through this game without, too much wear and tear getting back to New York. It sets up where they've got to have a good game from Cole in 3. And then hopefully that resets their bullpen and they got a chance, they're hoping to take 4 and 5 at home and then they just get one more. I'm not sure they can do that, but that's kind of your hope. But dropping the first 2 seems pretty likely for them. And, not what they were hoping for. Partially weather, partially just you gotta win earlier. When you win in 5, it sets you up to not have your pitchers in order, no matter how it plays out, right? And that was also a big thing too. If they could have Cole in game 1 or 2, that makes a much bigger difference than in 3.
Yeah, like it's just, nothing has worked out for them. And at this point, the Astros just seem like a business. Like it's just like that. I don't know that it phases them to be in this game. I think the only time it gets to like that things start happening where they have to think it's in the World Series, and unfortunately it might be another NL East team that can drop one too.
I feel like if we could just get the Padres, we can do that. But if we lose to a third NL East team,
Well, I mean, it's in order to. You went Mets Nationals,
Nationals, and then Braves.
So if we get the Phillies, then that means the Mets are next, and maybe the Marlins.
It's gotta be. Yeah, that's the way it's gotta play out, right? Is I guess next year. I thought this year was the Mets year, but it foolish me. Of course, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't the Mets year. Apparently, it was the Phillies year.
There's just so many comparisons to make the last year's Braves team out of that Phillies team, and it's just wild.
Yeah. If nothing else, being at 6 straight ALCSs, I mean, no one can ever take that away from us as Astros fans, even if we constantly lose to NL East teams and the World Series.
30-30 like the Buffalo did with 4 straight Super Bowls.
All right. On that note, we've got to sign off. All right. Jacob, any parting words?
No, I just hope that doesn't happen for you.
I do too. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in another episode of Picks with the Professor. Don't forget to subscribe so you can ensure all the sports betting content we provide on this channel is dropped right into your feed. We got all those college football episodes this week for week 8. Lots of baseball content rolling along as well. So as always, best of luck, and remember, you can eat your betting money, but please don't bet your eating money.